Welcome to the Unfuck Your Relationships podcast, the podcast where we are not just unfucking your love life, but unfucking your relationship to yourself and your entire life. Around here, we raise your standards, we break patterns, we upgrade your self-concept. We are talking about boundaries, money, shadow work, your relationship to your body, sex, all of it. We are covering your entire life, baby. Think of this podcast as like big sister energy where I am no fluff, no bullshit, but I am also very open with my heart and I'm going to share all of me with you, and that will be able to transform your entire life through you listening to this podcast. So if you are ready to stop settling for the bare minimum and actually be the woman that you can wake up in the morning and be proud of, you are in the right place. Let's get into today's episode. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the Unfuck Your Relationships podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Panning, and this is episode 229. And we're going to talk about how to make 2026 your most successful year yet. Okay. I know we're like coming up at the end of 2025. We're like mid-December now, and it is time. Like, don't wait till January 1st for you to actually start planning. Like I started planning like literally a few months ago, but I want to bring you guys into my world and just give you some like actual tangible strategies for you to plan, for you to have like the most successful, like wealthiest, sexiest, hottest, most loving, best fucking year that you could possibly ever imagine. Okay. So first things first, join the retreats. They are coming up in mid-Jan and the end of Jan. We have Awakening Her and Awakening Him. If you keep repeating the same patterns with yourself, with your self-confidence in your sexuality, you are not owning your power. You keep people pleasing. You want to be confident. You want to feel connected to your body. You want to have healthy relationships. You want to be able to communicate effectively. You want to be able to follow through on the things that you say that you want to do. The retreats are where you fucking do that. Okay. So the links will be in the description for that. At the time of recording this, we still have a couple of rooms left. So hopefully they're still there, but we shall see. Okay, let's get into this. One, I want you to claim 2026 as a fresh start. Okay, so 2026 is a blank slate. We do not need to drag in the same patterns, the same health shit, the same dips, and like, you know, like just shitty, anxious avoidant loops and all of the things that you may have been doing in 2025. You get to leave that in 2025. Like after you listen to this podcast, you get to leave that where it is. You do not need to drag it into another year. You have a fresh start. And this is why people love the energy of January 1st. They love a Monday. They love a Monday because it feels like a fresh start. But don't let this be another example of where you get to the end of 2026 and you're like, that was the same as 2025 and 2024. And actually same as all the way back to 2012. No, this is the year where we get to do something different. Number two, anchor into self-belief. You have to fucking believe that you can do this. You have to believe that you can change. Even if you have all the evidence in the world to support that you will not change, that you have not changed, that you've been doing the same thing since 2012, so what? So what? I don't care if you are 97 years old. It is never too late to change your behavior. And that starts with you believing that you can, even if it's 0.1%, like I talked about in a couple of episodes ago. It could be 0.1% that you believe. And then you start to anchor into the identity of, okay, well, let's say that you want to meet the love of your life this year, or you want to have like the most incredible relationship. Okay, cool. If I was already in the most incredible relationship of my life, how do I then show up? Which then goes to the next thing, which is behavior. Okay. So I believe that I can have this relationship, even if it's 0.1%. I'm going to let that self-belief grow over time. Okay. I believe that I can have this amazing relationship. How do I need to identify if I am in a healthy relationship? Well, I'm someone who communicates. I'm honest. I have integrity. I'm vulnerable. I am open. I'm kind. I am loving. I am thoughtful. Okay, great. These are all the things. Now, what behaviors go along with those things? Well, I plan things for my partner, or I allow myself to receive and I say thank you. I stop criticizing. I actually start leaning into appreciation. Great. From there comes your results. Self-belief, identity, behavior, results, repeat process, or rinse and repeat. Third, I want you to reflect on 2025 like a grown woman. Okay. We're all adults here. I love you. Let's look at this objectively. So you don't have to look at, oh my God, it was such a shit year. If it was, right? You don't have to look at, I could look at, oh my God, I went through a breakup this year and my business felt really heavy and it was hard. And, I hired people in my team and then that went to shit. And like, I could look at that, or I could be like, what did I learn? Oh my God. One, I like learned how to choose myself. I learned how to have really difficult conversations with team members. I learned how to move quickly to make decisions effectively when something wasn't working. I was like, okay, cool. Nope, this isn't a fit. Next. I ended friendships that were no longer aligned. Like there were so many things that I learned. Okay, I learned to, what do they say? A hire slow, fire fast, right? Okay, cool. I learned that lesson. So it's actually being very, very objective about what did I do well and what do I need to improve on without going into a shame spiral. I'm looking at how I'm showing up in my relationship right now and I'm thinking, okay, cool. There's some things that I need to work on. This is a different dynamic. There's some things that I need to work on that I haven't ever had to work on before. Okay, cool. Rather than going, oh my God, I can't believe that this is even a problem. No, it's okay, cool. I can see that this is a problem. I could see that this could get into a bigger problem if I don't address it now. So these are the things that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to stop counting numbers because there's a lot and I'm going to get sidetracked. So from there, I want you to create a vision. If you future project yourself into December 31st, 2026, who are you? How do you feel? What have you accomplished? How have you shown up? Like, what does your life actually look like? What house do you live in? Do you have pets? Like, who is around you? What can you see? What can you hear? What can you touch? What can you smell? What can you taste? Actually turn up all your senses and make it real. This is how you are going to actually anchor into the end result of it already being done. Okay. That we call this a five senses reality. And then from there, I want you to actually anchor into, why does this even matter? Why does this matter to you? I had a conversation with a private client the other day around, she was saying that she also wants to implement the habit of discipline in 2026. And I was like, okay, cool. How would you be showing up? Right. And it was something, I can't remember exactly what it said, but like, if I was disciplined, I'd be following through on the things that I said. And I was like, does that feel compelling to you? Right? Does that feel compelling? Like, why is this important to you? Because like you should be disciplined so that you can get the things that you want. And I'm exaggerating, right? And I was like, babe, you need to find a why that doesn't push you to do the things that you want to do. It pulls you to do the things that you must do. When things go from being, I should do that, to I must do that because it is so fucking important to me, willpower is no longer an issue, right? When you must make your relationship work, you end up showing up differently than, oh, well, I should do something for my partner. We should do a relationship check in. It becomes, wow, I know that my relationship is this is make or break. I will show up. I must, right? So that's something that I want you to think about. Why is this important to you? This is why people wait until their relationship is like they're on the brink of divorce before they come see me, or they just went through a really traumatic breakup again. And then they're like, okay, fine, I'm going to join the connected woman. Why are we waiting until life gets so fucking bad and you are so miserable for you to do anything about it? Well, there's a good reason for that, because the pain has become so significant that your why has dialed up to 1,000, right? That it feels so deeply uncomfortable that you feel you have no choice to move. It's the same reason why some people don't choose to eat healthy until they've had triple bypass surgery, right? And so it's like that. I need you to find a why that feels really compelling, and something also that will drive you is to find something outside of yourself as well. You can absolutely be driven, so for me, it's like I'm driven by like wanting to have a fucking hot body. I'm also driven by I have a lot of back pain and I want to be able to wake up in the morning and feel mobile and flexible and strong and fit. I want to be able to like walk up the stairs and not feel fucking gassed, right? I want to be the person who is like going on my hot girl walks, and that feels exciting to me. For you, so many people say, I'm willing to die for my children, but are you willing to live for them? Are you willing to put in the work to fix your marriage? Are you willing to show them what it looks like to actually be confident in your body? Are you willing to, um, you know, put in the work to change your eating habits? I don't know what it is, right? Even this podcast studio that I'm recording in, she was telling me about another woman who records her podcast here who I'm pretty sure she said she like has a full-time job. She has 3 kids. I don't know, I'm pulling this out of my ass. She's like got a full-time job, has 3 kids, and like does other things. And then she also comes in here to record her podcast at 3 in the morning. And then she edits them all herself. That is because I would assume for that woman, her podcast is a absolute must. She was like, I have something to say and the world needs to hear it. That I fuck with. I admire that so much. For me, I was really like, do you know what? I'm actually not feeling fulfilled in my life. What would feel really fucking good for me? Giving back. Cool. So the other day I'm waiting for my like working with children certificate, but I applied to be a volunteer for like a domestic violence charity because that is something that I'm really passionate about, having experienced it myself. And also so many of my clients have experienced domestic violence on some level, whether it's in relationships or when they were a child or whatever. It's something I feel really, really passionate about, and that feels so good for me. It's actually selfish for me to give me a sense of fulfillment and purpose, and that why drives me so much. So you need to anchor into your why. If you are going to instill habits or goals or whatever, you need to have a why behind it. You need to have a reason. From there, follow the 1% rule. You do not need to overhaul your entire life overnight. And if you are stuck in your ego and you are a perfectionist, you are going to want to do that. You're going to want to be like, right, I'm a raw vegan now, and I'm never going to get angry again in my relationship ever. I'm never going to have a moment of reactivity, and all my friendships out the window. I'm starting from scratch, and I'm getting a whole new wardrobe, and I'm going to be the hottest, wealthiest, best version of myself ever. Great. Okay. Then 3 days go by and you're like, oh my God, I can't keep this up. You know, it's the person who goes from living like a completely sedentary life to being like, I'm going to get 25,000 steps a day. No, you're not. You may eventually, but you're not going to, like, that's not sustainable. So it's being 1% better than you were yesterday. That's it. Just 1% better. How can you show up just a little bit differently today? It's really that age old thing that people say where people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 1 or 2 decades. And that really is a thing. Think big. Like, think fucking big, okay? So many of us just have the tiniest little dreams because we already think, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to do it. Think big, but start small. Okay. So if you want to become really, 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 fit and healthy and all the things, it starts with one workout. If you want to start a habit of reading every single day, well, maybe it's not, okay, I'm going to finish 1 book a week. Maybe you're like, I'm going to read 5 pages every day. I'm going to read 1 page, right? I'm going to read for 10 minutes a day. When it's money, okay, I'm going to choose to look at my bank account. I'm going to have one difficult conversation. It doesn't have to be overhauled overnight, but these small, repeatable actions will indeed shift your entire life. Like, you will look back in a year's time and be like, oh my God, I can't believe how far I've actually come. If you're the woman who has consumed all of my podcast episodes and other podcasts, and you've read the self-help books, and you have done little masterclasses, and you've dabbled here and there, but you still keep repeating the same patterns in your love life and in friendships and in money and all of the things, and you're like, fuck, why do I keep doing this? I need to put you onto something. That is the Awakening Retreats. They're happening in January 2026, and they are the place where you get to actually transcend this behavior and finally get to do something different. So your first retreat is going to be Awakening Her, and this is where you are connecting to your feminine energy, your pleasure, your devotion, your joy, your ecstasy, your rage, your grief, all of these pieces. So you get to live in totality of the woman that you are. And also, you're going to have an opportunity to heal your relationship with women, because the more I work with women, the more I realize how many women have felt betrayed by other women, almost more than they have felt betrayed by men. And you're really focusing on healing your relationship to yourself, to your body, to your sexuality, to your joy, to your confidence, to your insecurities, all of the things. And then your second retreat is awakening him. And this is where we're anchoring into your masculine energy. So your relationship to responsibility and integrity, following through on the things that you say that you're going to do, discipline, discernment, direction, all of these things, and healing your relationship with men, as well as then bringing this into a focus of how do you then bring this into relationships. So everything that you learned at Awakening Her and about expansion and emotional expression and all of these things, how do you then hold that containment and bring that into your romantic relationships and your friendships? And that is really the focus of Awakening Him. You can choose to do either or, but I've designed them to go together as a pair, and that is what most women who have decided to do the retreats have chosen to do. I do want to say these are the last retreats that I'm going to be running. If you've been saying, oh, I'll go to the next one, or when you come to the States, I'll do it. I'm never running one in the States. I can tell you that right now. And I'm not running more retreats in the future. This is your time. Make a fucking holiday out of it. Come to Australia. Most of the women who have signed up are coming from the US, which is very cool. DM me on Instagram if you have any questions. Otherwise, the link will be in the description. I cannot wait to see you there. Let's get back to the episode. If you want to make 2026 your most successful year yet, the biggest piece of advice I can give you is to be very selective with the people you have around you. The people you surround yourself with will make or break your success. They will either be there to celebrate you and encourage you and be so happy about the changes that you are making, or they're the friend who secretly hates you and will try to bring you down because you are reflecting all their gaps towards them. Those are not the kind of people that you want in your life. You want people who are encouraging you, or at the very least, just being like, cool, babes, like, I know you've got your stuff to focus on. I'm here when you're ready to connect. I've had friends like that where, I was doing a really intense course and I was like, for the next month, I'm going to be unavailable. And my friends were like, cool, see you in a month. Like, okay, amazing. No one was like, oh my God, that's so, what do you mean? What kind of course is it? No, none of that. We don't have time for that. So be very selective and discerning about the people that you have in your world. Be selective with your energy. Your energy is a currency. Don't deplete that currency. It's very important that you protect your energy. Next, I want you to focus on progress over perfection. If you are aiming for perfection, you are going to be sorely fucking disappointed. What I focus on is that 1% better and how can I be proud of myself? So for instance, when I'm at the gym and I'm doing RDLs, RDLs kill me. Not as bad as Bulgarian split squats, but that's another thing for another day. But RDL's like, do you know how many times it goes through my mind? No one is going to know. My coach isn't going to know if I only do 9 reps instead of 12. I would know. I would know. So you best believe, because I'm like, well, I'm not a cheater. You best believe I ain't cheating on a single fucking rep. I'm doing all 12. Even if I need to lower the weight, even if I need to do whatever, I am doing it till failure. And that is the thing. It's like progress, not perfection, right? By the end of it, like, yeah, I'm like, and I make sure that my form is always correct, but it's like, I'm looking at other people and the weight that they have on the barbell doing RDLs, and I'm a lot lighter. And I'm like, okay, but I'm a beginner. And over time, I have progressed a lot, which is amazing. And that's really all that you can ask for. It's not about the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect whatever, blah, blah, blah. Start now. Let it be fucking messy. Let it be what it is. And just people spend so much time planning and planning and planning and planning and not actually executing. And the thing is, knowledge is potential power. Execution is actual power. So when we actually do the things, and this is what I say, I say all the time, clock it, own it, clean it up. It's all well and good that you clock it and that you own it. But if you don't clean it up, nothing's going to change. And the cleaning it up is I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it messy. I'm going to do it weird. I'm going to do it. If it's hard, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make the hard choice. And in 2026, I want you to celebrate every win. Every win. This is something that I'm actually still trying to get better at, right? It's very easy for me to focus on what's not working. I'm a Virgo, guys. It's very easy for me to look at like, nope, this is wrong, 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 be very negatively geared. But it's important to celebrate the wins. And will you fail? Yes. You will learn so much from failure. Okay. Beautiful. And if you're successful and you're a high achiever, and you're particularly if you're an entrepreneur, you probably know that you learn more from failure than you do from success. But don't let that be at the cost of celebrating your wins. So even in a relationship, people thrive, your partner will thrive on appreciation, not criticism. So the more that you can find those glimmers of, this is working. I love this. That's amazing. Yes. Oh, I want more of this. Yes, yes, yes. We did that really well. I'm so proud of how we navigated that conversation. I'm so proud of how I'm showing up in this relationship. I'm so proud of, saying I needed more time during sex. That celebrate the fucking wins. The next thing I would tell you if you wanted to make 2026 your best year yet and your most successful year yet is to invest in yourself all year long. So that could be investing in books, coaching, courses, personal development, whatever it is, body work. Actually understanding that you are your best investment. You are your safest investment. People want to buy a house, and I'm like, yeah, I get that. But also, like, what I would make on a return in a house, I could literally make in my business tenfold. So it actually makes sense that I would invest in me and my business. And also, I was talking about this with my best friend a little while ago, and she was like, she loves AI and like giving predictions and like science and breaking things down. And she was like, okay, my predictions are that with the rise of AI, people are going to become more and more and more reliant on it for connection and therapy. She was saying how someone that she knows is like, yeah, I use it to text my friends. Like, she'll receive a text message from a friend and then put it into chat, and then chat will be like, here's how I would respond. And then she'll respond to her friends. That is fucking crazy to me. Like, we have lost all human connection. So people will become more and more reliant on chat, and then that will create even more of a loneliness epidemic, and the relationship coaching industry is going to boom. And I'm like, yay, right? But the reason that I share that is because your relationships are your most valuable asset. Outside of your relationship with yourself, it is your most valuable asset, your relationships. And so you can focus on all the external things, like, yeah, invest in your business, invest in, different things, but also you need to be investing in your relationships because your relationships have the biggest influence out of everything on your bank account, your health, your stress levels, your sleep, everything. It has such a big influence. So if you are not willing to attend to your relationships, if that is not important to you, and that could be your friendships, your romantic relationship, your love life, whatever, I don't know what to tell you. It may or may not be important to you, but I'm telling you, relationships, they have done studies on this. It is the most influential aspect of our lives. And with that, start now, not later. Again, let it be messy. You could be listening to this it could be January 1st, it could be April 2026, it could be October 2026, it could be fucking 2028. I don't know. But when you are listening to this, start now. What is the point in delaying and being like, oh, but I'm going to wait for the perfect circumstances of when I do this and da 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 da. People say, oh, after I've finished moving, or after I do this, or after I turn 30, after my Saturn's return is finished, or after this, or when the perfect circumstances, or I know I said that it was when I had 10K in my bank account, but actually I need it to be 50K in my bank account, or when I'm earning this amount of money. What's the point? Because you've been saying, I'm going to start for the last 6 years. And so it's like, oh, okay, cool. Recognizing there is no perfect time. I'm going to start now. I'm going to start with what I have, and I'm going to execute immediately. The second to last thing that I want to share with you is If you want to make 2026 your most successful year yet, you need to embody it. Don't just mindset your way through it. So, affirmations and future projecting and writing down your goals is all beautiful. But if you don't have the nervous system to match those big dreams and those big goals, you're going to get very stuck. Or, or you could also get those things but then be deeply unfulfilled because you're disconnected from your body. You can't actually receive the love. You can't receive what it feels like to be abundant and wealthy. You can't receive, you don't have the embodied confidence even though you got the body of your dreams. And so embodiment is where your next level actually resides, and that's where it lives. And that is really the work that we do inside the retreats, the experience, the connected woman, all of those spaces. It's why I focus so heavily on embodiment, because I'm like, I know that between mindset and shadow work and embodiment, that is the trifecta that actually helps you transcend to the next level. And finally, again, if you want to make 2026 your most successful year yet, you need to become the woman who has high standards. Self-worth is not just yelling, I deserve more. It's showing up like you do. It's showing up like you deserve more. It's showing up like you have high levels of self-respect. It's showing up like you have a strong work ethic. It's showing up like you give a shit about your relationships. It's showing up like you care about your friends and your family and your partner. It's showing up like you care about yourself. That is, out of everything that I have said, let that be your takeaway. If you want 2026 to be the year that everything changes, filter it through this question. If I loved myself truly and deeply, what choice would I make here? Because I can guarantee there would be so many things that you would either start doing, and there would be so many things that you stop doing. And you would stop entertaining different relationships and patterns and behaviors because you would know this is not a loving choice towards myself. So that is what I've got for you. If you want to make 2026 your best year yet, your most successful year yet, the year where you are so loved and cherished and you have self-respect and self-worth, come join me inside The Connected Woman. We are running our last live round in January, and after that it will be self-study. So if you want to come do it with me and you want to do it live, that is the place to do it. I'm not sure at the time of recording this, we still have a couple of spots for the retreats. So if you're ready, let's fucking go. It is really the space where you collapse 10 years of therapy into 2 separate weekends. So that is what I've got for you. I love you guys. I'm so fucking excited to roll into 2026 with you guys. We've still got a couple of weeks left, but I'm so excited. I hope you have a beautiful week. I love you. Talk to you next week in next week's episode. Bye. All right, my love, thank you so much for listening to today's podcast episode. Take what resonates and leave the rest. There is no obligation, but you do have a responsibility to yourself to actually do the work. So implement what you have learned here. Let this episode be a reminder that you are built for more. You are not built for the bare minimum. You are not built for mediocre. You are meant to live a big, beautiful, bold life. And if you want to go deeper, come follow me over on Instagram at Michelle Panning. The link will be in the description. That is where I share all the behind the scenes content, and you will get to follow me and my journey as I raise my standards alongside you. So I love you. I believe in your next level, and I will see you in the next episode. Now go unfuck your life, babe.